Hello, Rochelle families. It's so wonderful to be having our open house for tonight. This is a little different than what we would normally do. We would normally invite you to the campus and our families would be able to visit all of the classrooms and have face-to-face conversations with our teachers. We know, of course, that hasn't been possible this year, and so we appreciate so much that our families have been cooperative and supportive of the different learning formats we've had for our students this year. We are now at a point where we have about 58% of our students on the campus learning, and about 42% of the students have remained in eSchool. And you'll hear very shortly, right after I finish speaking with you, from Mr. Brackman, and he'll give you some more information about eSchool to campus learning if that's an option you want to explore. If you are doing eSchool, we thank families for their support, for helping to provide that quiet learning environment where your students can focus and that's free of distractions, making sure that they have all of their school supplies ready and they have a good workspace. And if your student has been a campus learner, we thank you for supporting all of the health and safety practices we've had on campus with wearing masks and all of the other things we've had to do to make sure our school population stays safe during these unusual times. At this point, it is still the state of Florida's expectation that all schools and all public schools in Florida will be participating in the Florida Standards Assessment, or FSA, testing in the spring. So we are doing all we can to help prepare your students for that testing. So we will be sharing some more information with you as you move through this program tonight so that you will have an idea of where your student is with their learning at this time in reading and in math, and how you might better support them. The FSA testing, of course, is for our students in grades 3 through 8. And of course, there are some end of course or EOC tests that some of our middle school students will be engaged in as well. We do very much hope that there will be a time very soon and within this school year that all of our students might be able to return to campus, and all of our families might be able to have another chance to visit the campus. So thank you so much for all of your support this year, and I'm going to pass it off to Mr. Brackman, who's going to give you some more information, and following him will be Mrs. Bryant.
I'm Mr. Brackman. I'm one of the assistant principals here at Rochelle. And if you're thinking about having your eSchool student come back to face-to-face learning in the second 9 weeks, here's some things you need to know. First off, it's important that you know that we are wearing masks on campus. And if you're going to be on campus, the only time you take your mask off is when your teacher tells you to, which would be at recess and of course at lunchtime. So it's good to practice keeping the mask on at home for several hours at a time, just so they can get used to it. Things with schedules are a little bit different here and there. Please understand that some of the teachers or the teacher you have for your e-learning may not be the same teacher you have when you come back to campus. You may have some specific questions that you need either myself or Ms. Bryant to answer. If you have those questions, feel free to call the school and we'll be glad to talk to you personally about your individual questions. You will need to make a decision about if you want your student to return to face-to-face learning and notify the school between October the 12th and October the 16th. You would do that by calling the school and letting one of us know that you're ready for your student to come back. When they do come back, they'll need to bring their device and their charger so we can get that off of your child's obligation list and it won't be affected with them or attached to them for any fines or fees. Again, if you have any additional questions, please let us know, and we look forward to the second 9 weeks and hopefully seeing some of you here face to face.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Bryant. Please stay tuned to this video for more information on how to interpret your child's STAR reading and math reports. Our campus students receive these reports on Wednesday, October 7th, and our eSchool students' reports have been uploaded to their Schoology page. Many of our students have gotten back into the school routines, but we also realize the fourth 9 weeks of last school year was not ordinary. So while working with our families, it is our goal to ensure all students are meeting their grade level expectations and that they continue to progress this year. The STAR test will be administered again in December and April. And we are looking forward to our students doing their best work. Thank you.
Good evening, families. This is Kim Mays. I'm the reading coach and Title I coordinator here at Rochelle. As a parent, I know one of the most important parts of open house is finding out how your child is doing at the start of the school year. Earlier this week, you should have received your child's STAR report. Campus learners brought them home on Wednesday, and e-learners should have theirs in their Schoology messages. We wanted to take just a few minutes to review that information with you so you can better understand where your child is currently. As you heard Ms. Bryant say, your child will take these STAR tests at least 2 more times this year, so learning how to read the data now will help you see how your child progresses throughout the year. Here's a quick comparison of the STAR tests. All of the tests are computer adaptive, which means the questions change depending on how the students are doing. If a student gets a question wrong, the next question may get easier. At the same time, if the student gets a question right, the next question may get harder. Students in kindergarten through 2nd grade take the STAR Early Lit test, which has 27 questions and takes students on average 15 to 20 minutes to complete. Students in grades 3 through 8 take STAR Reading. It has 34 questions and takes about 20 to 25 minutes to complete. And students in grades 1 through 8 take STAR Math, which also has 34 questions and takes about 25 to 30 minutes to complete. You can see here some of the broad skills that are tested on each test. The reports we're going to show you tonight are very general. During your individual parent-teacher conferences, your child's teacher will be able to give you details on how your child is doing with specific skills. Now let's take a look at the report. If you have yours nearby, go ahead and take it out now. The report you're looking at is our school to home report. It gives you an idea of how your child is doing individually, as well as how he or she compares to the class and the grade level. For STAR Reading and STAR Math, you'll see the national percentile rank listed. This score compares your child's test performance with that of other students nationally in the same grade. For example, with percentile rank of 83 in math, this means that this student's skills are greater than 83% of students nationally in the same grade. You can then also see the class and school average percentile rank. The same applies to the STAR Reading test. Then you can also see the national grade equivalent score. We call this the GE. This ranges from 0.0 to 12.9 and represents how a student's test performance compares with that of other students nationally. For example, the 5th grader shown here scored a 6.4 in math. That means that her score is equal to that of a typical 6th grader after the 4th month of school. That score does not mean that she is capable of doing classwork at the 6th grade level. It only indicates that her skills are above average for her grade level. On average, her class score is equal to that of a 5th grader after the 3rd month of school, which is a bit higher than the entire 5th grade, which scored at a 4.9. Again, the same is true for the STAR Reading scores. If your child has started taking quizzes in Accelerated Reader, their progress will be shown here as well. You can see this student has a 96% average correct on her quizzes. Our goal is for students to earn at least an 80% average on their quizzes. Anything lower shows us that the student may not have fully comprehended the story. The average book level is also shown. This student's average book level is a 3.3. Because she is a 5th grader, her goal at this point in the year would be to be reading books on average around a 5.0 to 5.3. So you can see here that she's reading books about 2 years below her grade level. This would be a great point to mention to your child's teacher. Your child's teacher will be able to share more information about this, as well as share some strategies to help at home. Some of our middle school students may have a parent report for algebra or geometry. Information is displayed a bit differently on these reports, which give you your child's scale score out of 1400. Your child's teacher will be able to tell you more specifically what that score means, as well as give you grade level benchmarks, which might be helpful. And for our youngest readers, our kindergartners took the STAR Early Lit test. Their report looks a bit different as well. Here you'll be able to see your child's scaled score, which ranges from 300 to 900, as well as a visual of where that score falls, either below average, average, or above average. You can see this student scored a scale score of 438, which is below average. Again, your child's teacher can give you more specific information. But like the other reports, you'll be able to see your kindergartner's percentile rank and grade equivalent. The Early Lit report will also give you some ideas of what your child is learning and doing as a reader, as well as some helpful tips on what you can do to encourage your child's growth in reading. That concludes our information on your child's data and assessments. We'd like to give you a little bit of information about our Title I program here at Rochelle. Stay tuned to hear more about what Title I does for our students. Then, at the end of the video, before you log off, we'd like to ask you to take a minute or two to complete our survey. This will not only provide us with an idea of how many families we reached, but will also give us some great input so that we can continue to provide helpful resources and other information. The link to the survey can be found on our website below this presentation and is also posted on our social media sites. Now, here's a bit more about our Title I program. Welcome back, families. Thank you for joining us for this brief Title I annual parent meeting. To begin with, I'd like to share with you the purpose of Title I. As you can see, the purpose of Title I is to provide supplemental resources and services to high-poverty schools, as well as migratory children and families and institutions serving neglected and delinquent children and youth. Each year, the federal government provides Title I funds to states based on the U.S. Census poverty data. From there, state education agencies, like the Florida Department of Education, send money to school districts based on the number of families that receive free and reduced lunch or are community eligible direct certified. Then, those school districts submit a plan to the state describing the high quality standards that students are expected to meet, as well as the ways their progress will be measured, and how Title I funds would help their students meet those expectations. Finally, the local education agencies, like our Polk County Public Schools, identifies eligible schools and distributes the funds accordingly. Title I funding is a major benefit to our school. The funds help children be more successful. They give families an opportunity to have a voice in their children's education, and it provides parents with the tools and resources necessary to help their children academically. Finally, Title I helps teachers realize the contributions of parents to their children's education. Overall, it helps to raise the student achievement for their child. The graphic you're looking at right now highlights our Title I budget. This is how we will spend our Title I dollars. Each year, we are required to spend a certain percentage on parent and family engagement initiatives. However, this year, because of the uncertain situation with COVID-19, we're still waiting on that required allocation. At this time, however, we've planned to use those funds to cover the purchase of our student agendas and communication folders. One of the major components of Title I is parent and family engagement. As we showed you a few minutes ago, your child's STAR report is one way to see how your child is progressing. Additionally, you can expect a quick 5 to 10 minute phone call from your child's teacher. This is just a quick check-in since we aren't able to have you in our classrooms face-to-face. Our elementary families can also expect to hear from their child's teacher to set up a parent-teacher conference, which will give you an opportunity to hear more about where your individual child is performing and how they are progressing. This will also be a chance to ask any questions and hear more about your child's grade level curriculum and assessment information. If our middle school families would like to schedule a conference, they may do so by contacting our middle school guidance counselor, Mrs. Willoughby. Each year, the district is required to write a parent and family engagement plan. The plan is very involved, so I'd like to refer you to our school's website if you'd like to read the plan in its entirety. As well, our school is required to write a parent and family engagement plan. This is done with input gathered from our online surveys, as well as discussions and conversations at our SAC and PTA meetings. Our Title I School Parent Compact is designed to outline the responsibilities of staff, parents, and students. Copies of the compact will be sent out through Schoology, Remind, and School Messenger, and all of our Title I documents can always be found on our website or social media. During your parent-teacher conferences, your child's teacher will discuss and reference the compact should you have any questions. The compact is revised and edited every year by a group of staff members and parents. Towards the end of the year, be on the lookout for information on how you can be involved in offering input in creating next year's compact. So, Title I needs your help. Because we're working hard to involve and engage you, we need your help to determine what you would like the goals of our Title I program to be. Then we need your help to plan and carry out the programs you'd like to see. We need your help in evaluating those programs so we can continue to improve them. And by joining us tonight, you're already taking a first step in being involved. The district would also welcome your help in writing and revising the district parent and family engagement plan. Or maybe you'd like to serve on the district parent advisory team. Here at Rochelle, we would love your help in writing our school parent and family engagement plan as well as our school parent compact. There are lots of ways to be involved. Just ask any one of us and we'll be sure to put you to work. As I said earlier, Title I provides us the funding to offer resources to engage parents and families. Due to COVID-19, on-campus family engagement activities are currently not scheduled, but be sure to check our website and social media for up-to-date information on virtual opportunities. If at any point in the year you'd like to learn more about Title I, you can always find the documents listed here on our website. And if you'd like a copy, don't hesitate to ask your child's teacher and we'll be sure it gets to you. And finally, if you ever need any more information on the Title I programs within the district, please contact Angelina West at the number and email listed here. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate your time and hope you found the information presented throughout the night helpful. Before you log off, don't forget to complete our survey found on the link below this presentation or on our social media sites. We would really value your input. Thank you for spending time with us tonight. Good night.